It's the Ed. What's happening, the Ed?
Oh, nothing. I heard you playing that song that I sang a long, long time ago, about 8 or 9 years ago.
It wasn't 8 or 9 years ago. It was about 1 year ago, as a matter of fact. Are you having trouble remembering things and when they happened and everything?
No.
Well, it seems like you are. I'm looking out for you. I don't want, heaven forbid. I don't want you to get senile or anything.
I could hear the music playing. I was dancing around. I was doing them old dances and stuff.
Yeah, well, you sound like you're a little out of breath, if you don't mind my saying.
Yeah, I know. I was tired. I was jumping around.
Hey, the Ed, first of all, where to begin? What are your picks for the conference finals in the NBA?
I figured it'd be the Lakers and the Cleveland Cavaliers, but
the Cleveland Cavaliers, where you're going to go with?
No, well, I thought the Cleveland Cavaliers would just sweep on the Magic, but they lost last night.
Yes, they did. You're right, and I do think they're still going to win it. So you're taking both of those teams. And another question I have for you is something I asked DJ Gallo on yesterday's podcast. I'd be interested in your opinion on this because we have talked about.
Is he related to that Ernest and Julio Gallo?
I don't believe so, but that's a good question that I should really ask him the next time. The winemakers, right?
Yeah, that's good wine.
Oh, I've never actually tasted that.
He'll probably give you some if you ask him.
If he's related, that's assuming he is. But yeah, that's the kind you get in the big jug, right? Ernest and Julio Gallo.
That thing, man, you could drink that whole jug at one table sitting if you want.
Yeah, when Memorial Day's almost here, maybe you're going to have that as an option for the guests at your barbecue.
I know what time you're coming. We got a seat already made for you.
Well, this is uncomfortable, Ed. That's part of the reason for my call. It's not going to work out.
We've already got you sitting down. You're sitting right next to Franklin.
Well, I'd love to. Right, I'd really, really love to get to know Franklin a little bit, but like I say, I gotta.
Happy to see you. So.
Well, again, I've got to
be here by 10:00 in the morning because we got a lot of stuff going. We're gonna have a. Listen, I bought me a kiddie pool and put it out back.
Great, that sounds fun.
I'm gonna get in it. It's 4 foot deep.
How hot is it in Vegas right now?
It's 104 degrees.
Egad.
Yeah, so the water, you put cold water in there, and it start bubbling and if you inside the pool, it's like you're a part of the soup because the water start bubbling.
The Ed soup.
Yep.
Well, again, so I don't know. You were laying out what sounds like a really festive day.
I've been taking my swimming lessons too. I had a swimming lesson today already.
Oh, good.
I've been learning. I'm almost good, probably.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. But again, just to let you know, I don't want you planning anything around me trying to accommodate me because again, I'm not going to be able to make it.
For when? This time you're not coming?
No. Yeah, I can't get out there. I'm sorry.
Oh, man, that messes up my whole seating arrangement.
Well, I'm sorry. I would love to do it, but you know how it is, Ed. I got the 2 little ones at home and everything now.
Now I got 19 chairs and 26 people. How am I going to do
that? Well, it sounds like that probably helps you for me not to make it out.
I don't know. I got to figure it out now. I got to map it out. I got to get me another marker, another pen, another pad of paper.
Well, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to. I hope I didn't lead you to believe I was going to be there. I said I was going to try, and that was as much as I promised. I didn't say. I said I would try.
Yeah. I know.
Hey, the Ed, so let's talk about a little bit of football because we have talked about the issue of just in general, what about guys who have felonious records and things like that, playing in major sports and the league's desire to try and eliminate that sort of thing. What do you think now? The highest profile guy, probably active player to ever get into a legal entanglement, Mike Vick, now out of the joint. What do you think about that? Do you think somebody should take a shot on him? And if they do, what do you expect? Is he going to be good 2 years away from the game? Do you think he's going to be his old self? And if he is his old self, is that good enough for somebody in 2009?
Well, here's my thing, man. Michael Vick ain't really thrown a pass since 2 years, right? 2 seasons.
That's right.
How long Carson Palmer been out? And he still got his job.
Well, he hasn't been out that long, but yes, your point's well taken. Tom Brady barely played in
the same thing. I mean,
yeah, right.
It's just think of it as an injury, but he wasn't even injured.
I kind of agree with you on that.
Up.
Well, listen, those guys are obviously better conditioned.
These guys on the TV shows, they just got to have something to say half the time. I don't even think they believe half the stuff that they say. If you're a good general manager, look. The guy, he spent his time in jail, okay? What are you saying? If you're not going to give him a chance, then here's what you got to say. You got to put a no felony clause in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen.
If you don't want people playing, then just say, hey, listen, if you've been to jail, you can't play, and make it a broad statement. Don't just pick and choose what you want to do.
Listen, I don't completely disagree. Well, the other thing is, too, there's a new report out that DUIs don't seem to be at least as regular an occurrence as before the player conduct policy came out from Commissioner Goodell. Like I say, I think that it doesn't. It's completely anecdotal, and if someone wants to drop me a line and disprove what I'm saying, but it seems to me that it hasn't curbed crime at all in the league, so it almost brings more attention to it.
Yeah, I know. Look, people are going to do bad stuff because they're people. You know, and people are going to target the famous people too, but sometimes the famous people take that to their advantage. A lot of times they go, oh, you got all these hanger-oners and all this stuff. Sometimes those guys want to be around those people. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And, so you're saying it's not always the fault of that?
No,
yes.
Sometimes it's the athlete that's just a bad guy, and he has good people around him saying, hey, man, you shouldn't do that. But he's like, I got millions of dollars, hush your mouth.
Well, what would you say? So do you think that would be fair to announce if the league announced, if the NFL or another league said, what about a rule that if you have a criminal record, you're not allowed in our league?
I mean, you know what? I don't think it could be. I think they should probably do that. I mean, but sometimes if people got a bad record, you never know, man. I don't know. It's just kind of confusing because you wouldn't want your doctor to be a criminal, right? You want to go to the doctor, and he's like, I just got out of jail 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be bad. Yeah. I wouldn't like that. Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, the Ed, so what about then, let's talk about it from a football perspective. If you were a head coach in the NFL, which you are not, but if you were, would you prefer to have starting a quarterback this year for you, Brett Favre or Mike Vick?
Well, I would probably take Brett Favre over Michael Vick.
Would you? Yeah, even in his present state?
Yeah, because I just don't think Michael Vick is that great of a quarterback. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Brett Favre's probably, even though Brett Favre's a gunslinger. You got to live and die by what he does, but I still say he's a top 10 quarterback.
You do? You think right now he's one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's silly. You really can't conjure 10 guys you'd rather have a quarterback than him?
Okay, well, I mean, do you want J.P. Losman or do you want Brett Favre?
Well, no one's ranking J.P. Losman.
That's a Buffalo Bill quarterback, right? Or Trent Edwards?
Trent Edwards is the guy, right.
Okay, you want Trent Edwards?
You know what? I may sound crazy. I probably would want Trent Edwards. At this point, he's an old man.
He has no credentials. Why would you want the guy to be
because Brett Favre was atrocious in the second half of the season.
Well, Trent Edwards was atrocious for the whole season in Buffalo.
Well, he was all right coming out of the gate. All right. I'm sorry, the Ed.
You want Sage Rosenfeld as your hands, or you want Brett Favre?
All right, my issue is really from
you got to be realistic.
Tavares Jackson or Brett Favre. Well, the thing is, you might be right, but the thing that I've said before, I say again to you now, is from a fan's perspective, I wouldn't want a guy who was my arch nemesis for many years if I were watching the Vikings and rooting for them, watching Brett Favre beat my team, and now he's the missing piece. I wouldn't want the championship if that was the case. I wouldn't want
that either. I wouldn't want.
Right, I wouldn't want if Ray Lewis.
I never want Tom Brady. If Tom Brady came begging, I don't want to play for the Colts, I'd kick him right in the head.
That's exactly right. If Ray Lewis could deliver a Super Bowl to the Steelers,
him.
I'm not interested. Thank you very much.
I know.
Take your business elsewhere, sir.
And you know what? As bad as the Ravens quarterback situation is, they would never want Benlisberger.
Well, that would be their loss, but yeah, I don't disagree with you. Hey, the Ed, I got to run here. I'm sorry, I've got to go I'm going to do some local radio here in Los Angeles. I'm going to be on the air, so I got to wrap it up with you. But I did notice that on the Ed Super Deluxe website.com, it's always worth a visit there. So much going on there. You've got music up there. Are you now selling